Switch up, switch up.
Hey, team 6, team 6.
Watch out. Check Mike 54, Mike 54. Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
Hit it.
Minshew, 1st and 10. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Mike 54, Mike 54. Watch the slip.
Looking to throw it, Minshew. And connecting here with DJ Shark. Touchdown, Jaguars! DJ Shark with his 16th touchdown of the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Returnable here for Callaway. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, man.
Go.
Watch the boot.
Go, go.
Right there. 54, right there. 54.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. It's brought in by Jeffrey. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Leonard Fournette. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
Good job.
Leonard Fournette, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Lambeau on for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead.
14. Josh Lambeau to kick off for Jacksonville.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
He's top right.
Hey, no, easy. Gun.
Motion.
On 3rd down, Cousins. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Leonard Fournette, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Gun.
Now a run with Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
A gain of 13 yards. First down, Minnesota.
21-0 our score after 1.
Jaguars 21, Vikings nothing.
Tight to the right, boy. Tight to the right. Move. 3 down. Hey, check it.
On play action, Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Josh Allen in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing is Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Third and long for Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we drop. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
This is Fournette. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Fournette fighting through, and he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That one good for 37 yards.
First and goal at the 1-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 10 Lobo.
Watch 54. Y'all not ready. Check.
Protein spill. Check go.
They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
I'm going to come back to you.
Now Minshew. And that ball is caught by DJ Chark for the Jags touchdown. DJ Chark, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the rout is on here in this first half. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Let's 50.
Tight end's right. 4 down.
First.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Trying to lay one up deep. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad.
At their own 15-yard line.
Here we go.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total.
Mike 42, Mike 42. Let's go, D. Big series right here. So we got to step up.
On 2nd and 7, Minshew. His throw incomplete. Ricky Seals-Jones, the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Smooth. Mike 42. Let's get the ball. Check. 42's the Mike.
Now.
Minshew throwing on 3rd down. The open man is Shark. It's complete. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down.
X3, 218, chop.
That's good.
Throwing on 1st down is Minshew. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Hey, Mike's 42, Mike's 42. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist.
Hey, Charlie. Get it.
It'll be Minshew again. And he'll hit Jeffrey, complete. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well.
Hey, Haywood. Go.
Jaguars, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Deep grip.
Again, Minshew looking to throw. That one complete. He finds Shark. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun is Minshew. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Ready.
Minshew sets to throw. Open man right side is Shark. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a 1st down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
He's got Smith here. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
We got 4. We got 4. Mike 42, Mike.
Yep.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Let go.
Here's Minshew. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the gun, Minshew to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Boy, you sure don't see that too often.
I guess you can't really call anything a gimme, but you figure with his track record, that's a sure thing. But it turns out It's not the case.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On second and a couple, Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one.
Hey, exit.
Hey, we got four. We got four down. Switch.
On first and 10, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now Cousins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now Cousins going deep for Diggs. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one, as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half.
Let's go, baby.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here.
Hey, one set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Yeah. You don't want none.
Go.
54. Mike 54. Bandit.
Throwing on second down. Minshew. He's going to air one out. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 36 yards on the play. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. They'll drop the throw. And he'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Here's a second and 7. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Ready.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
One set. Check Mike 54.
Hey, lock it. Bravo.
That's the way. Switch.
Get it.
So third and long, here's Minshew. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Danielle Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Logan Cook now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
They start the drive with Cook, and they got him behind the goal line. Cook goes down for a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Let's go, let's go!
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity.
He's got a man complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. And that one results in 35 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll try the right side here with Fournette. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Ricky Seals Jones. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else. I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they step into a double team, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Fournette. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Minshew to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw it, Minshew, and that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call.
1st and goal at the
8-yard line. 50, plant.
Mark 54. It's our time. It's our go.
They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call.
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They run it again with Cook. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
A big loss there of 9 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch. And that's caught inside the 35. Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 36 yards on the play. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Ready?
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Leonard Fournette with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and that will extend this big lead. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's up.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Ricky Seals-Jones with his second TD of the game, his sixth on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 45. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they gave up the pick six. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's third down. The Vikings on third down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. A toss to Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they got the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
at their own 30.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a 1st down. They'll look to throw. And he's certainly been a huge... And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who?
So this will be a win for Jacksonville.